Welcome back to the Great Bus Tours of Denver. This is part 2 of the Route 3. Starting out at Sheridan and Alameda. Here's the famous White Horse Bar on the right. Sheridan is where the 4 and the 3 join together for the run into Alameda Station. We are headed eastbound towards downtown. However, this route passes south of downtown, but it is one of the longer routes in the RTD system. Passing Perry. Passing Morrison Road and Knox Street. Morrison Road is kind of a weird thing because it actually works on a diagonal. Believe it was originally that Morrison was actually a separate township, and so the streets were not aligned to the Denver city grid. Crossing Federal. A boxing center. Don't see one of those every day. On the right is Costco, but more importantly is POM, which is Pacific Ocean Marketplace, which is a big deal here in Denver. They're one of the biggest Asian supermarkets in the region. Now crossing the Cherokee Power Plant Railroad Lead, which is currently out of service, and the power plant is to the south. Now crossing the South Platte River. See in the distance, we've got a train coming across here too. So we also going to be on crossing I-25, and then we cross under the railroad. Looks like to be a coal hauler here. I shoot a lot of train videos too, but that one's out of focus and I'm out of position. Another day, no time, play more trains. Alright. Immediately after crossing underneath the railroad tracks of the Union Pacific in Burlington, Northern Santa Fe, we turn right onto Cherokee. This is Alameda Station. Now half of the Alameda route street service ends here. There's more service on the west side of the city than there is on the east side. I believe this would be called Ellsworth if this was actually a real street here. Turning left onto Bannock. Now normally the buses would go straight out to Alameda, but as you can see that humongous dirt pile in front of us, there is a detour currently in place. turning left. And to the west. And returning to Cherokee, which we're going to turn to the right and the north. Now turning right onto Alameda and to the east. Now crossing Broadway and Lincoln, this is the dividing line between East and West Denver. We're now in East Denver. Crossing Logan. Passing Pete's Central Kitchen, great food. Worth a visit. They're relatively reasonable in price, but they're definitely not budget. Now crossing Downing and Marion. Some of the nicer houses are along here, especially if you look to the left. Well, you can't see them because they are behind this fencing here. I take it back. That's actually the Denver Country Club. Yes, I know I just ran that light just barely. That was a very long light there. So now we're north on University for a little bit. Crossing the actual Cherry Creek. This is Cherry Creek Center. Elways, which we're going to be going by here in just a second. Which is, if you know your history, that is a famous Denver Broncos quarterback who opened this the restaurant. Very good steakhouse place here in Denver. Very famous. Also, the steaks are really good too. It is definitely upper class area. There's the Whole Foods across the way. We're now turning right onto First Avenue, and on your left is the Cherry Creek Shopping District, and on your right, there's Elways, is the Cherry Creek Shopping Center coming up here. And we're going to end this part 2 right here. Stay tuned for part 3. We'll have it up very shortly. Please check for the link at the end of the video.